Welcome to class. Today we are going to be treating the topic child care. In our previous class, we talked about childhood development. So for today, we are going to be dealing on what the care of a child. A baby is helpless. It depends on his or her mother or any person taking care of him or her to meet his or her need. That's how baby comes to this world. It comes to the world helpless, and it depends on anybody taking care of them to provide for his or her need. And they need love, they need food, they need clothing, and they need shelter. They need warmth. These are what they need. So we are going to be looking on how to care for this child, because we already said they depend on the person taking care of them. They are helpless. They can't feed for themselves. They can't do anything from themselves. And we are going to be looking firstly the nutrition of the baby, of the child. The child must be provided with good nutrition. The baby needs good food that can promote the growth and development of the baby, because poor feeding in infancy can retard growth. A baby that has not been fed well, it can affect the baby's growth, and the baby growing rates will be reduced, and take longer time for the baby to grow and mature. So a baby can be fed by the use of feeding, either by bottle or by breast. So we are going to be looking at the various means by which you can feed a baby, but what we need to note is that good nutrition is needed for the baby to grow very well. And that will bring us to breastfeeding, which we can say the natural feeding. Because I said you can feed them by breast or by bottle feeding. Now let's look at breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is the natural way to feed a baby. That's how God, heaven, designed it, the natural way. A baby can be fed exclusively on breast milk from birth to up to 6 months. And the term they call it is baby friendly. Yeah, that's what our parents used to call it. So you can decide to feed your child on breast milk only, without adding any formulas or baby food to it, from birth to up to 6 months. Some mothers do it for a year. They do it for a year. And remember, we said breast milk is the natural way to feed a baby, and there's benefits also. So we are going to be looking at the benefits. You can say the advantages of breastfeeding. 1. Breast milk contains all nutrients needed by a baby more than any other food, more than any other formula. No matter how rich in nutrients the formula is, it can't amount or be equal to the natural breast milk God has designed for the baby. Secondly, it contains antibiotics which protect the child against disease infection. You can see, which you will not find in some formulas. Antibiotics that help the child to fight against disease, because we have bacteria everywhere, and they can't speak for themselves, they can't fight for themselves, and they are prone to them because of the nature they already have, because they are developing, they are growing, they are prone to it. Any little thing will just affect their immune system, because it's still low. Still on the advantage of breast milk, it is sterile and free from disease germs. That's what we mean by sterile, when there is no bacteria, when there is no germs in it. It is produced in the right temperature. And many of us, we don't know the temperature the formulas of baby food are being produced. It is easily digested and absorbed by the baby, compared to other formulas food that you give to the baby. The baby system can easily digest it. They will not have any issues with constipation or indigestion or intussusception. They will not have anything with their bowels, their intestine. because they can easily digest, their system can easily digest breast milk compared to the formula or baby food you want to what give to them. Breast milk never goes sour or bad. It is cheaper than artificial feeding. Yeah, you don't buy, you don't pay for it. The only payment is mommy will eat good food. That's the only payment compared to formulas that you go and buy. We have milk 1 1, we have peak 1 2 3, we have naphthalene, many different baby food that you have some, we have SMA gold. Yeah, I can remember my one of my sisters, my mom feed her with SMA gold every time. I think a month, one container, two something. That was back then. Now, if I can tell how much the cost of one SMA gold is. So, unlike breast milk, you don't purchase it, you don't buy it, you don't pay for it. The only thing you do is to eat well. Breastfeeding helps mothers to protect themselves against another pregnancy. Wow, you can see the advantage. So a breastfeeding mother have the chance of getting pregnant. I won't say it doesn't happen, it happens, but the chances are what? Low. So it protects the mother against another pregnancy. And I know many of us will be wondering, well, that's biology. Breastfed babies are not easily constipated, meaning they don't have issues with what? Stooling. They don't have issues with their tummy. Breastfeeding brings mother and child very close. It makes the baby what? Happy. There's this bond between a mother and child which is caused by the breastfeeding. So, when mother is breastfeeding a child, the baby will look at the mommy's face. Oh, this is my mommy. Baby will continue, and it's making it. You see the baby's face. The baby will smile. It makes the baby happy, and it brings the mother and the baby very what? Close. Colostrum. Colostrum is the first milk produced in the first few days by a nursing mother. It is yellowish in color. It helps to clear the baby's first sticky stool called meconium. Colostrum is the first milk, the first baby milk that comes out from the breast of the mother, and is yellowish in color. It is a good antibiotic. The baby needs it. The baby needs it to help his body immune system to fight against the bacteria, and also the way he has been feeding from the womb. That's where the stool comes in, the first sticky stool. He has been feeding through the placenta, so the colostrum helps to wash everything out from the baby's immune system and flush the system. So it's very, very mandatory for every baby to feed on the colostrum. Or like you see some mothers, my breast is not rushing, they'll press it away. But many mothers that know, they know the importance of it, and they don't discard it. Artificial or bottle feeding. We said you can feed them by breastfeeding or by bottle feeding. Now let's talk on bottle feeding. This is the process of feeding a baby with artificial milk, often through the feeding bottle, and you can call the milk, or you can call them formulas. They are called formulas, baby formulas, or you can say baby food. When you feed it through the bottle, as you can see in the image, this is artificial or bottle feeding. But I will talk on the disadvantage of bottle feeding, because it's gotten from cow milk. It is expensive. The milk can easily be contaminated by disease, germs, okay, which we know because of the cow they got it from and the process involved. Constipation is common with bottle-fed babies. Yeah, depending on the milk, the baby system will not be is not strong enough to digest that kind of particular cow milk formula you bought for the baby, and therefore it will causing constipation for the child. Artificial milk is not as rich as breast milk. It does not contain antibiotics. Note it doesn't contain antibiotics. It does not make for close contact between the mother and the child. No need, because the baby is even close to the feeding bottle. Let's see some baby, when you take away that feeding bottle, they'll be crying. It's close to the feeding bottle than the mother. So that's what bottle feeding. And you can say is, you call them formulas, infant formulas or formula in the market, are made from cow milk, unlike the natural breast milk that God himself designed. Weaning. What is weaning? Weaning is the process whereby feeding baby from the breast or a bottle is replaced by the use of unmodified cow milk and other suitable food. When you stop feeding the baby, breastfeeding the baby, or you stop using bottle for the baby, using formulas, and you now start using unmodified cow milk, cowbell, puke milk, the one that adults use, and start giving the child adult food like rice, eba, small, you put in soup. That process is what weaning. You are weaning the child, as you can see in the image. Bathing and clothing the baby. The baby's skin is delicate. It should not be allowed to get dirty. Clothing the baby is very important. They require good clothes for protection, warmth, comfort, and good appearance. So good bath for the baby is needed, and good clothing also is needed for the baby, as you can see in the image. That will bring us to immunization. When we talk about immunization, it has to do with illness, fighting against disease, fighting against bacteria, antibodies and antigen, fighting against each other for good health of the baby. Immunization prevents children against diseases. Children can be immunized against the following diseases. Now let's know the diseases that affect a child or a baby. We have diphtheria, we have tetanus, we have whooping cough, we have polio, we have smallpox, we have measles, and we have tuberculosis. And each of these diseases are caused by bacteria or viruses, and they affect children. And that's why immunization is there to help the child fight against the disease. It's a vaccine that is given to the child for the child to fight against this various disease that will tend or want to affect the child, so that the child will fall ill. So as if you are preventing it from happening, because it's common to them. Even me, when I was a child, I had measles. I think I should know that my parents did not give me the vaccine against measles. Maybe that's why I had measles. Okay, so we are going to be treating them. Types of vaccine. We have the triple vaccine, DTP vaccine. We have the polio vaccine against the polio disease. The triple vaccine against the diphtheria disease. We have the quadruple vaccine. We have smallpox vaccine against smallpox. We have measles vaccine against measles. We have the BCG vaccine, Bacilli camelate, guanine against tuberculosis. So these vaccines are what the doctor or the nurse inject to the child to help the child fight against any of these diseases that want to affect the health of the child. So that will bring us to common ailments in child. We have colic, constipation, diarrhea, nappy rash. Let's talk on them one by one. Colic and constipation. Colic is caused by cramps in the intestine of the baby, while constipation involves the passing of hard stool at long intervals or not passing it at all. Colic is my tummy is paining me, yeah, cramps, pain in the intestine of the baby. While that's for constipation, passing hard stool, difficulty in stooling, very hard one for a long time. You'll be giving the baby water so the baby can be able to stool, but conveniently and comfortably. This is one of these two of the ailments of a child. We also have diarrhea. This is a sudden increase in the number of bowel movements, especially if they are loose and watery. Somebody is confused and towards bowel movement. It has to do with our intestine. Our intestine is called bowel. So sudden increase in the number of bowel movements has to do with the bowel movement is now moving faster than before, and thereby producing watery stool or loose stool. That's diarrhea. You stool, and when you want to stool, it's nothing, it's just stooling watery stool. The next 1 minute again, you want to stool again because of the increase in the bowel movement. And what are you stooling? Watery stool. That's all the baby. That's what can affect baby. Diarrhea can affect baby when the water is not good. The food, the formulas you are giving to the child, the environment of the child, they all matters a lot. And we have nappy rash. This occurs when a child has rashes in the nappy area, where you pampers. Using pampers for a whole day, one pampers, it can cause nappy rash. Using dirty napkin can also cause it. Not washing it properly, not rinsing a dirty napkin properly can also cause nappy rash. Nappy rash, you have to use you clean the area very well. You expose the baby, especially when the baby is at home, to fresh air. That will bring us to uses of toys. You cannot talk about baby and you're talking about toys. It keeps the children busy. It helps them to learn. It helps them to exercise themselves in different ways. It makes children happy. It has to do with their reasoning. It helps them to develop. We talk about child development. Yes, mentally, socially, emotionally, morally, otherwise. So these are the uses of toys. It makes them to start thinking, to be smart. Points to consider when choosing toys for your child. Be safe, e.g., it should not contain lead. It can contaminate and cause harm to the child's system. Suit the child age, not a big toy that the child cannot carry or lift. Should be easy to clean, not the one you wash and is not clean, to cause ailment to the child because of the germs and dirt. Have no metal or sharp edges that can injure the child. Be strong, durable, and interesting to the child. So these are the kind of toys you get for your child. We've come so far to talk about child care, bathing, clothing, the feeding of the baby. Hope you've enjoyed this class. See you in our next class. Bye.